I got to tell you, the mother of all surrogates, probably the busiest campaign surrogate in New Hampshire, is sitting across from me. It's Donald Trump Jr. Thanks for being here. Whoop, hold on. I got to make sure that you're heard. One more time.
Great to be here, guys. How's it going?
Good. I'm worried that you're going to fire me here with the whole everybody knows you from a
not during campaign season. We'll wait till that's over to start firing.
I think not. And for those of you, just so you know, because the Trump family, this is the son with the brown hair.
Correct.
There, everybody knows.
Yes.
So I got to ask you, here you are, you're making the push, and your father was looking really good in the polls, but the polls look good in Iowa as well. Are you worried that all of the energy that you're getting at the rallies won't translate into people coming out and voting?
No, listen, I think if you look at even Iowa, he got the second highest number of votes ever in the history of Iowa. So, there's a real movement there. There's people who really understand him. New Hampshire's obviously a different animal. Iowa's a great place. I have a lot of friends there, but it's also a different beast, I think, in terms of the American demographic and what Americans are really seeing and feeling. So I think New Hampshire's going to be great for us. We're very excited about it. The reception we're getting here is just incredible. We're having a good time.
You know, Mr. Trump, I go to the grocery store and I see a magazine that says Melania, the Donald that the other people don't know. And then I know that you as a family member go out and you often talk about the other side of Donald Trump that perhaps the public doesn't see. Why do you think the public doesn't see that side of your dad?
Well, listen, he's a business guy, right? So he's touting his accomplishments, he's touting his business record, those kind of things. That's what he's probably most proud of. I think that's what he thinks is most relevant for this country. I think what I can do is be a good surrogate and say, hey, listen, I also know the guy as a dad. I know the guy as a grandfather. He's just incredible. The things that he's done for us, the things that he stressed in terms of importance growing up, education, work ethic, understanding the value of a dollar, making us work, but work hard, and landscaping and, crappy jobs. So we really understood the value of a dollar and what that means when we're now running his business. Those are the kind of things that are important. I think that's so relevant to what this country needs. When you look at the way he's funding his own campaign, the way he's doing it so differently than everyone else, because, he doesn't need this. He doesn't need to do this. He could sit back and play golf for the rest of his life, but this country's been so good to him. It's given him such incredible opportunities, a great business. He wants to do what's right by this country, and politicians aren't doing it. They've been making a mess of this place for the last 50 years. It's a disaster, and he wants to fix it.
Did I just hear right that he had you do, as quoting you, crappy landscaping jobs and stuff?
Well, we did. My first job, I worked in a marina. I was hooking up sewage lines and water systems for boats coming in. Then I worked in landscape. I'm probably the only son of a billionaire who can drive a D10 Caterpillar pretty well, like an operator.
So no participation trophies in the Trump family.
No, we're not believers in the participation trophy. That's not the way we'd run America. It's about earned.
I don't think people think that. I don't think the assumption is that you guys, you grew up with gold-plated toilets.
Well, they don't think that, and they probably never will, because it's easy to say, oh, well, you're the son of a rich guy, you could never understand. But, and I get that. I totally understand it. It's okay. I'd rather be underestimated than overestimated.
All right, so how do you feel like it's going there in New Hampshire, and then how do you think it looks going forward?
Well, listen, I think New Hampshire's going really well. We're very happy about it. The reception that we're receiving here is just very warm and welcoming. So, it's been great. The message is really resonating with people. They want to change.
There were a lot of questions at the debate, and we hear when we open up the phone lines, people call in, Donald Trump's not really a Republican. He's not really a conservative. He's got these ties to the Clintons and all of those things. Is he vulnerable there? Has he answered that question, you think?
I think he's answered it 100%. You function in the business world. You have to get along with all sides, right? You got people in both parties all over the place. We do business deals all over the world.
Okay, but you say he's going to be like a really successful businessman when he becomes president. So what's stopping him from making deals with Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid if he can't get a good deal with the Republicans?
Well, I think you have to make good deals. And that's what he's done his whole life. These other guys, they talk about doing deals, but they're playing with other people's money. If something doesn't really happen, it doesn't matter. They'll sell it and spin it away and get reelected, with their special interest money. All the deals he's made that have been successful, it's been with his money, with his own money at risk, with people's livelihoods that have given him 20 years of service, their families, at stake.
Yeah.
He takes that really seriously. And so, there's no question that of all the people up there, he's the only one that's actually done that.
I understand, that your dad thinks that perhaps it was a mistake not to do the debate prior to the Iowa caucuses. And then you have this March 3rd debate. Did I hear correctly that your dad has made a decision and made an announcement that he will attend that debate?
I think he's planning on being there, as far as I know, yes.
And are you concerned about the showdown with Megyn Kelly, who will also be there?
No, I'm not worried about it. Listen, my father's done more interviews, put himself under scrutiny more than any other candidate that's out there. He's done, more debates than any of the Democrats. When people try to say it that way, it's so ridiculous. It just doesn't work for me.
And I've always wondered this because, lots of times presidents who have been wealthy, Roosevelt's and you name it, they come into the office with wealth and then they put all of their money in a trust. The Cheneys did that. George W. Bush did that. The interesting thing about your company, your father's company, is that your name, your brand is worth so much. You can't put a brand in a blind trust. You can't put a name in a blind trust. What about the issue with you continuing as Donald Trump Jr., making money off of the Trump name while Donald Trump is the president? There's a conflict there, isn't there?
No, I mean, we've been running the business, since he's been in office this way. We've been involved with the business for decades at this point. I don't think there's any issue there whatsoever. I mean, he said it on a public stage. I mean, he doesn't care what happens to the business at this point. He believes it's in good hands.
You do.
And he'll step away. Yeah, but, honestly, I think America's more important. We'll do great with the business. We have a lot of incredible assets. We'll do a good job no matter what happens. I'm not worried about that at all.
As the family sits around the table, when those rare moments when you get to see each other, you may not get to see each other very much right now, but when you do, what is the thing that most surprises you about the grueling effort that is a modern-day presidential campaign?
Well, listen, it's a pretty thankless process. Again, for all these other people, it's their job. That's what they have to do. It's the only way to keep going. For him, he could sit back and do whatever he wants. So, I think the fact that he's putting himself out there this way just shows how much he actually wants to do this for the country, right? It's not, for these other guys, that's their job. They get in, they become a half-term senator, all of a sudden, well, what's next? We must, get on the right committees so that I can then say I have experience and then run for president. He does deals all over the world. He does this kind of stuff. He gets it. It's a thankless process. It's been incredibly difficult, but he's going to do it. He's going to do a great job, and he's going to do something incredible for the country.
Our guest is Donald Trump Jr., and we only have a minute left, and I know you have a very busy schedule. I got to ask you, though, one thing that people continue to say is how great you are, how your brother Eric is, your sister Ivanka, and it's a testament to Mr. Trump as a father. We've got the Bushes and legacy, their children, George Bush's children ran for office. After witnessing this, do you have any thoughts now? Would you or Eric or Ivanka think about running for office someday?
Well, listen, I never like to rule out optionality, right? It's always nice to have some options in your back pocket, but I think, after seeing the process, I think I'm probably going to stick with my day job for now. We'll see. If I get to the point where I can make a difference, then maybe that'll change. But I think right now,
got to go. We need a new governor in New York.
Exactly. Well, maybe one day.
A dynasty is born, Brian Wilson. Donald Trump Jr., thanks for joining us here.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure having you on the show.